до того слова. Будет метров 500. Да.
Дальность 1100, минус 4 скорость.
So the range is 1 kilometer and 100 meters. The range rate is -4. Filter is operating.
Ну да.
Чувствуете работу ДПО?
So we can feel DPO operation.
Надо будет выдать нам
a reminder to send command 30.
Когда метров 600 будет.
Please prepare everything for the distance.
And again, you're seeing views of both the space station from the Soyuz and vice versa. The Soyuz now less than 1 kilometer away from docking to the Rosviet module on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station, currently closing at a rate of 2.5 meters per second. Good view of the station as the two vehicles travel in concert with one another 255 miles above the Earth. And now the Soyuz spacecraft that has performed flawlessly so far since its launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan back on Wednesday.
And the zone is called the inhibit of the digital loop analysis. Yes, that's correct, Alex. At the range 500 meters, you should send this command. Now it is 800 meters. Minus 2.8 is the closing rate. And we can see the station on VKU monitor, and it moves to and fro.
So
the range is 700 meters, and we confirm signal acquisition. Filter is operating. The range is 650 meters, minus 2.3 is the closing range. Filter is operating. We're approaching.
At a range of 640 meters away, again, a good view of the Soyuz vehicle as it flies 255 miles above the Earth, everything in great shape. Currently flying in tandem with the International Space Station over Romania, closing at a rate of 1.5 meters per second. We soon will begin to see the fly-around of the Soyuz to precisely align its forward docking probe with the Rosviet module's docking port. This will be a 56-degree fly-around for the Soyuz spacecraft with docking scheduled just over 23 minutes from now.
So we can see gyrations or movements of the image of ISS on VKU monitor. Copy.
Range. The rate is minus 1.5. Range inaudible. Range is 500. Range 350.
This is Mission Control Korolyov, 470 meters separating the Soyuz and its destination at the International Space Station. Flight controllers are reporting that the Russian segment is in the correct orientation for the docking a few minutes from now of the Soyuz MS-09 spacecraft to the Rosviet module. As the Soyuz makes its final few feet, just prior to contact and capture, the station will be put into what's known as free drift, meaning that all of the thrusters and propulsion systems on the station itself will be temporarily disabled to avoid any inadvertent jet thruster firings that could perturbate the relative motion of the two vehicles against one another at the time of contact. It will take just a couple of minutes for the relative motion of the two vehicles to dampen out at the docking interface before the docking probe on the Soyuz can begin to retract to basically pull the station in for a hard mate.
Copy, fly around confirmed.
And the fly around has now begun, right on schedule. Again, this will take just about 2 or 3 minutes. At the end of the fly-around, the start of the final approach will be determined by the Russian flight controllers here in Korolyov, depending on whether they feel any period of station keeping is required to assess the relative alignment between the forward end of the Soyuz and the Rossviet module. So we'll be standing by to see that. It is not uncommon for a Soyuz docking to occur ahead of schedule. That could be the case again today. We'll see.
Fly around is in progress. 340 is the range. And we're switching to a different OKR. There are still fluctuations. Rate is range is 320. Range is minus 0.5.
Again, a good view from the Soyuz cameras looking at the International Space Station. As you see the Core's automated rendezvous system locking on to its target. And again, this view now of the Soyuz from truss cameras on the International Space Station. An outstanding view as the fly-around of the station is in progress. The station and the Soyuz currently flying 255 statute miles over the border between Russia and northwest Kazakhstan.
Range is 280. Rate is minus 0.3. Filters are operated nominally. And
the Soyuz now about 1/3 of the way through its fly-around. Everything looking good according to the Russian flight controllers here in Korolyov.
And could you please check the parameters? The K15 parameter. It is not illuminated yet. And we're completing fly around. We're switching over, and I confirm SNC locked on target signal. Range is 260 meters. Just a visual estimation. 251 to 52. Rate is 0.3, and I confirm roll maneuver. I confirm K15. And I confirm.
The Soyuz spacecraft is now beginning a roll maneuver that will align its solar arrays in the correct orientation on a non-interference basis for its approach for a link up to the Rossviet module, which is just below the crosshairs in this view. Soyuz currently closing in just about 200 meters away, completing the fly-around. Again, this view now showing a great view, looking right down the barrel of the Rassvet module, and a view of the control panel inside the Soyuz spacecraft, where all the commands are being automatically issued by onboard computers.
Headlight is on. Is the headlight on? Yes. And we're sending the command from input 1. And this is the command for final approach. We are ready to issue final approach command. It is in progress. The time is at 15:51. I confirm final approach command and final approach rate confirmed. Minus 0.50 is the rate, and it is increasing. Range is 205. Minus 1 meter is the rate.
And the report from the visiting vehicle officer at Mission Control in Houston, confirmed by Russian flight controllers here, is that no station keeping was required, and final approach of the Soyuz for its docking to the Rassvet module is underway about 5 minutes ahead of schedule.
Range 160, rate 0.8, target is at the center of the screen, and all is operating nominally. Filter is operating nominally. Range 140, rate 0.8, filter is operating nominally, and target is at the center of the screen. (130) minus 0.8, filters are on. Copy.
Flying serenely over the border between Kazakhstan and Mongolia, the Soyuz MS-09, just minutes away from delivering Sergey Prokopyev, Serena Auñón-Chancellor, and Alexander Gerst to the International Space Station for a 6.5-month mission.
Range 100. Rate minus 0.53. Filter is operating nominally, and target is at the center of the screen. Range is 90. Filter is operating nominally, and rate is minus 0.5, and the target is offset by approximately half a square. Okay, copy.
At the bottom of your screen, you're looking at two fan-shaped solar arrays. Those are the ultra-flex solar arrays on the orbital Antares, the Cygnus cargo craft that arrived at the International Space Station a couple of weeks ago. Later in June, SpaceX will launch its next mission to the International Space Station, a delivery mission of its Dragon cargo craft that will park right alongside of Cygnus, marking the first time since 2016 that two U.S. commercial cargo vehicles will have been at the International Space Station simultaneously.
Target is at the center, and we are seeing the target. And the crosshairs are aligned. Range is 60, minus 0.2 is the closing rate. Filters are operating nominally. Target is approximately half a square to the right and upwards.
High over Mongolia, the Soyuz MS-09, minutes away from its link up to the Rosviet module, now just 47 meters away, closing at a rate of just under 2 meters per second, everything continuing to go very smoothly.
Ready? Range 38. Target is moving down by approximately a square. Range minus 0.13. Filters are operating. Range 32 meters. Rate is minus 0.13. Filters are operating well. The target is offset by approximately half a square and upwards from the center.
Just 30 meters now separating the Soyuz and the International Space Station.
27.
The two craft about to fly into an orbital sunset, moving from northwest to southeast over far eastern Asia. This pass will take both the Soyuz and the station just south of Shanghai, China, into the Philippine Sea.
Range 23. And rate minus 0.13. Filters are operating nominally. The target is at the center of the screen. And the SSVP system is armed. Copy. Range 18. Rate minus 0.11. Target is aligned with the center.
And a good view of final thruster firings by the Soyuz as it aligns itself to the Rosviet module on the Earth-facing port of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. Just a few meters now separating the Soyuz from its destination, closing at a rate of 1/10 of a meter per second.
Range 16, rate minus 0.13. Angular size of the target is approximately 1.5 squares. Rate minus 0.11. Copy. 0.11. The target is offset to the right by approximately 1 square. Range 10. Rate minus 0.1. Filters are operating. Copy.
With one of the solar arrays of the Cygnus spacecraft also in the field of view, multiple views of the Soyuz as it negotiates the final few meters. We are standing by for contact and capture of the International Space Station.
Crosshairs are aligned. Target is at the center. Range 5 meters. Copy. And please be ready for contact. angular size is 3 squares. 3 meters is the range. Rate is nominal. We're standing by for contact. Target is at the center of the screen. I confirm contact.
Contact confirmed.
And I confirm.
And capture confirmed. At 8:01 a.m. Central Time, 9:01 a.m. Eastern Time, the Soyuz MS-09 delivering a multinational crew to the International Space Station for more than a half year in space, docking occurring over eastern China at an altitude of 255 statute miles.
Flow. Valve 1, yes.
And the docking probe on the Soyuz is now retracting as planned. This will literally pull the two docking interfaces flush against one another to form a hard mate, allowing hooks on the docking interface to close around one another. There's a good view. Soyuz is home after a flawless 2-day journey from the launch pad of the Baikonur Cosmodrome.
We're standing by for MV measurements. Alex, I will proceed with closeout ops, and you'll do the measurements.
Сергей, ты циклограмму, да, тогда ССВП смотришь, да?
Inaudible.
Once again, to recap, you're looking at the Soyuz MS-09, Sergey Prokopyev, Serena Auñón-Chancellor, and Alexander Gerst aboard in the descent module of the Soyuz, completing an uneventful and flawless 2-day ride following their launch on Wednesday from the Baikonur Cosmodrome, arriving at the station, docking occurring just a few minutes ahead of the original schedule, docking occurring at 8:01 a.m. Central,
is 826.
9:01 a.m. Eastern Time over eastern China.
The measurement is 831. And the pressure in BO is 808. And 861 in BO. How? Copy. Yes, we copy all. And please perform the next measurement in 15 minutes.